will head up to the commentary box and rejoin Stuart Machin.
Cheers, Niall. Yes, it is distinctly murky, isn't it? Although, in truth, I have lost count of the number of times I've said that at the end of a winter's afternoon jumping. Rain nowhere near as hard as it was, but the wind continuing to gust across the track. The forerunners walking in sedately for this Unibet Walrus Open Hunters Chase, starting at the entrance to the back straight. Slight downhill run to the first of the 18 scheduled fences. Flags are raised. They're off. And the four of them led to the first by Wishing and Hoping in the hands of Alex Edwards, the grey Alcala, racing wide of the Della Checkout, and Asangi last of the four, and they're all neatly enough over the first. So Wishing and Hoping, short prize favourite here to extend his unbeaten sequence, giving a lead early to Alcala and the Della Checkout, taking fence 2, and Asangi hops over a couple of lengths away. Moving on to the middle fence and the line of 5 across in the back straight first time. Wishing and Hoping from Alcala under Angus Chaleda, jumping soundly, a little bit quicker through the air than the Della Checkout, who was more cautious, touching down in third under Imi Robinson, red cap, and Asangi and Peter Bryan last of 4. Over the fourth, and now on towards the open ditch at the end of the back straight. Wishing and Hoping, who jumped markedly left at the right-handed Taunton last time, has been relatively straight at the opening fences and leads into the far turn from Alcala. The Della Checkout has just tended to put himself right at a few of the early fences and occupies third place, about 5 lengths off the leader, and Asangi, the outsider of the 4, last of the 4, as they head now towards the last 2 miles. Turning in to face the 4 fences up the straight. Wishing and Hoping and Alex Edwards leading Alcala and the Della Checkout, and then Asangi. Wishing and Hoping jumping well there. And likewise Alcala, he's jumping with exuberance. The Della Checkout more restrained in third place, and then Asangi with a white cap, and here's another open ditch. Wishing and Hoping landing just over a length clear from Alcala, 3 or 4 lengths away to the Della Checkout, and then Asangi approaching fence 8. Wishing and Hoping again over neatly from Alcala and the Della Checkout and Asangi, and that's been the order from the moment they jumped off. They're coming to fence 9 and approaching halfway in this Unibet Walrus Hunter Chase. Wishing and Hoping again over quickly. Once more in third place, the Della Checkout, just a little more restrained in his jumping than either of the leading duo. Alcala remains closest to the pace-setting Wishing and Hoping as they slide under the judge, and Asangi remains at the back of the field. So rounding the paddock turn and preparing to do it all over again on the run to the 10th. Wishing and Hoping, tracked by Alcala. The Della Checkout in third, unbeaten in his 3 starts this winter, 2 points and a Hunter Chase win at Ludlow last time, and Asangi still held up in last place. Wishing and Hoping then on the run to the first of the fences on the far side. Alcala within a couple of lengths. The Della Checkout much closer to them now, right on the tail of Alcala. Asangi in touch, running downhill to this plain fence. Wishing and Hoping quick through the air. Slight nod on landing by Asangi, last of the field, running to the 11th. Wishing and Hoping to the grey Alcala. The Della Checkout 3 lengths away, and then Asangi a similar distance back. Now they have a mile to travel. Middle one on the far side once again. Wishing and Hoping held together in front. Alcala though jumping virtually alongside. 4 or 5 lengths to Della Checkout. Asangi untidy, being chivied along at the back of the field, going towards 6 from home. Wishing and Hoping and Alcala. Still this small break back to the Della checkout, red cap for Imi Robinson. And then Asangi, and now they're going to the penultimate ditch, the last in the back straight. Wishing and Hoping jumps well from Alcala. The Della checkout about 5 lengths away, and the gap seemingly growing to Asangi. So they begin the swing back towards home then, just the last line of fences to jump in the straight. And Wishing and Hoping has made all so far. Alcala has always been his closest pursuer. He's back within a length or so. The Della checkout on the flat, rounding the bend, closing up 3 lengths away, and they're clear of Asangi. So turning on in then to face the 4th last. Wishing and Hoping on the right, the grey Alcala on the left. Between them the Della checkout. 4 from home. Only a half length separating Wishing and Hoping and Alcala. Reminders now for the Della checkout, shaken along more firmly, 4 lengths away, heading towards the open ditch. 3 out. Wishing and Hoping and Alcala, each seemingly travelling okay. Wishing and Hoping still with a slender lead, shaken up on landing. Alcala travels strongly. They've drawn away from the Della checkout. Asangi's pretty remote, coming now towards the 2nd last. Wishing and Hoping and Alcala. Still just Wishing and Hoping, and Alcala was untidy. Pitched Angus Chaleda forward in the saddle. Hands the initiative to Wishing and Hoping. Alcala gathered up though to come and have another crack at him. Final fence coming up. Alcala on the near side of Wishing and Hoping. Could be all on the jumping. Wishing and Hoping by a half length on touching 9 to Alcala. Now got 150 yards to go. Alcala on the near side, beginning to wear down Wishing and Hoping. 100 yards to go. Alcala coming home the stronger, and Alcala drives clear close home and goes on to score. Alcala and Angus Chaleda see off Wishing and Hoping at Alex Edwards. The Della checkout in 3rd, and Asangi will be 4th.
Alcala, despite a mistake at the penultimate fences, come home clear in the end from Wishing and Hoping in 2nd place. And Della checkout was down last of the 4, Asangi, with a 4-1 winner, and I think he needed that to qualify for Cheltenham. Job done.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was a pretty smooth performance from him, wasn't it? He made the mistake at the 2nd last, but he's powered through the race. It looked like he was always going to take Wishing and Hoping from some way out, really. And Wishing and Hoping is a good horse himself in a rich vein of form, so it's no mean feat to have tanked his way through the race in the manner that he did. He's got a lot of ability. If you go back when he was summer jumping a couple of years ago, he was a very highly rated horse, and it looks like on this evidence he retains a good chunk of that ability, and he'll go to the spring festivals no doubt at Cheltenham and Aintree with a good chance, I would say.
Fell last time, mistake there. Would you fancy riding him around Aintree?
Yeah, I don't think I'd fancy riding anything around Aintree, to be honest with you now, but it's a good performance from him nonetheless. He quickly recovers from that mistake, doesn't he, and he's strong to the line as well, so no, a lot to like about it. Wishing and Hoping, he's not lost much in defeat. I don't think he's been beaten by a good rival.
Yeah. Next day for Paul Nichols, obviously surname crashing out down at Ascot. He's the winner down there, and he's a double in the card here.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other horse in the race that was in the market was the Della checkout here. He never looked like he was going to get on terms with the first 2, really. Briefly around the home turn he got within 3 lengths, but that was about as close as he got at any point, and they've left him well behind, so a bit disappointing from him on the day. He makes a bad mistake as well when he's well behind at the last fence.
He does, but it's Alcala driven out is home in front in our 7th and final race as we head back to Tom and get the full results for our finale.
Yeah, you just see there how awkward he was, Alcala, and then looked as though Wishing and Hoping might do it. He wasn't foot perfect of his either, but he's better here, Alcala, and stays on pretty strongly.